What is going on, guys? You're here at the Barcast, Season 1, Episode 1, in the dopest bar I've ever been in. You're not going to want to miss a thing. Stay tuned.
Somebody shut that kid up.
What's up? My name is Brad, and
Cash here.
This is Kristian over here. Bear with us, because this is the first episode that we've done in a long time. So if you guys are new to the channel, first of all, I'm sorry for this. Second of all, please subscribe, because you just feel bad for us. But
we've got new mics.
We got new mics. We got a new setting. We are here at what's called the Cannon Room at the Pendry, Baltimore. It's in Fells Point. We are used to being at the horse you came in on. If you're not familiar with that, go check some of the older videos.
Still repping the horse, though.
Still repping, yeah.
And it's right across the street. It's right there, so we could almost touch it.
They had some construction going on, so we weren't able to do it. And what we're really good at is improvising. So
and leveraging relationships.
Yes, we love building relationships.
Shout out to Dorian.
But yeah, shout out to Dorian. But dude, I'm like pumped for what we have planned, and kicking off this new season on a new channel. We've come a long way from when we first started at our humble beginnings at Bar Casino.
Yeah, I was killing it. I was killing it.
Your awkward faces and shit.
I was looking at that because I was looking at some of our previous episodes, and when we ended the season last year, we talked a little bit about what we're going to talk about today, but you had made them cut to the clip of my first episode when I was just sitting there. Now, you were making fun of me because I was just blankly staring into the camera,
or at my face.
But, however, I was looking at it and I was like, I had a slim face.
You did.
My haircut was on point.
It was on point.
It was so. I mean, for all you shat on me for that, I was impressed.
You know what was really bad was the lighting. I had it bright. I had it so bright we looked like we were definitely walked out of the morgue that morning. It was pretty bad, which I'm not so sure about the lighting here, but like in person, it's awesome. This place is amazing.
I feel like my forehead is bright, but that's all right.
But what we should do, though, is actually tell everybody that we're actually not planning on just having this on YouTube.
Yeah,
we have lots of plans for the Barcast, and that was the whole point of this first episode, is just to kind of get you kind of comfortable with where we're headed. So this is the first of 8 episodes in this season.
Yep.
We're planning on going to different locations throughout the entire year. For each season, we're going to be in a different city, so that's going to be really cool, give you kind of a different perspective on what we're doing. But more importantly, I think we should just talk about the purpose of the Barcast.
Yeah, and I'm excited because this will be the first season. Baltimore makes a lot of sense for us to do the first season, and then we have the other cities lined up, so it's nice that we kind of know where we're going. But we've talked a lot about the direction of the Barcast, what we want to do, where we want to go. Launching, I feel like this is the natural next step of our progression, which is launching it on all platforms, getting it on Spotify, getting the audio out there on iTunes podcasts. But also, I want to try to be, I like how we talk about the process, because I want to kind of pull back the curtain a little bit on our process as well, because it's not like this was an easy decision or this was a decision that just was obvious for us. So we worked through a lot to get to this decision on how it was going to look, even the seasons, how that was formatted. So I hope we have an opportunity to really discuss, not just in this episode, but as we move forward, the iterations and the challenges and the successes with going through this process.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that our viewers, our listeners, they're going to love this part. I think especially because what we have in store for you guys as well is that we're bringing on a lot more guests. We're going to have a lot more really cool stories of how people were able to start their own businesses and, get their stories of success. Because for me, it's like everybody thinks there's this, I wouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people think there's just some cookie cutter way to getting to the top or whatever mountain that you're trying to climb. And it really isn't. So I think just giving a unique perspective from all the guests that we're going to have on, I think something that I'm really looking forward to, and I think other people will as well. But I think what we all should do is talk about where we're going to be going this year too. For the season. So
the locations?
Yeah.
So we have season 1, and this is we just talked about Puerto Rico, so there might be a little bit of a tweak in that. But season 1's Baltimore.
Yep.
Season 2 is North Carolina, which is where I have a lot of my clients. So that's and where you're actually considering moving in the near future. So season 2 will be Raleigh, which I'm super excited about because we have. I mean, there's just a ton of guests that I've been considering. And for us to narrow that down to 6 to 8 guests, I mean, it's going to be hard, but the guests are going to be awesome. And then we talked about coming back to Baltimore, which I haven't even talked to you about this, but season 3, we may want to go to Ocean City.
Really?
Yeah. We'll talk about that offline.
Okay.
But as of right now, we talked about coming back to Baltimore.
Or New York.
Or New York, and then season 4 would be Puerto Rico.
Okay.
So, we know that the first 2 seasons are set, and New York is definitely coming up soon. Puerto Rico, if we can make it happen with our schedules. And then there's just a lot more to do in Maryland just because there's so much in Maryland outside of Baltimore City.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of people that kind of have that misnomer that it's just DC, Baltimore, and everything else around it. There's nothing. But, it really is cool. The people that you meet and just the small businesses, people that built it from nothing. And I don't know. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, so then I just want to touch on, for anybody who may be visiting the channel for the first time, kind of why we started. And before we move forward, kind of look back on where it came from. And then we could talk about the direction that we've talked about going in. So we started the Barcast really for us.
Yep.
As an opportunity for 2 entrepreneurs. So you're a day trader, investor. You started We Trade HQ, which is online education for people who want to learn about any part of the market, investing in any part of the market. So that piece is you bring the education background, but you're an entrepreneur as well.
Right.
And so myself being a business coach, so I'm a business management coach. I primarily function in the hospitality space, but we used to have these lunch conversations where we would just kind of shoot the shit about the entrepreneurship, and we started our businesses around the same time. So it was cool having those conversations and having each other through the process.
Yeah.
Well, the Barcast was us really sort of shedding a light on the entrepreneurship journey, but also hopefully allowing people to know that they're not alone in the journey, because entrepreneurship can be pretty lonely. As sexy as it seems right now, when you're in it, especially when you're starting without employees, it's lonely as hell.
100%. I think that there hasn't been another time where it's been over glamorized and everybody just wants to be able to work for themselves. But you hit the nail on the head with that. It's like, I get so sick sometimes of just looking at the same 4 walls, which is why I always try to just go other places to try to find someplace else to work that has an internet connection, because I just really do get sick of sitting in the same chair. Before I know it, I've been there 5-6 hours and I haven't even gotten up. So, it really is. And I think the other thing is too, is that, what we're aiming to do now is just to kind of provide that inspiration for other people that maybe thought that getting into entrepreneurship was this awesome thing, and it is, but the struggle is also one part that just doesn't get enough emphasis, and being able to go through those hard times is really what ends up paying off in the end.
And we've committed to this year, or launching with this season, to really sort of shed light on the struggle more, be more candid, be more real, be more of ourselves. Because last year, I know me personally, I held back on certain things for fear of a client might be exposed or whatever, or just putting people's information out, or even just fear of not wanting to put myself out there like that. We talked a little bit about when I lost my biggest client and how that sort of went down, but even that was more surface level. It wasn't raw. And so we want to really talk about the struggle and get real and put ourselves out there. And then even furthermore, one of the biggest reasons with the guests is we are so big on relationships.
Yeah.
The guests are an opportunity for us to connect with people, to build relationships, and to bring other people's insight, whether it's the good, bad, or the ugly, and start growing this community of entrepreneurs and just looking at things from different lenses. So it's selfish for us because we're just trying to meet new people and learn from new people as well.
But I think that's the beauty of it. I think the fact that we're doing this because it's something that we actually really love doing and it's like something that we really want to do. This is the fun part of what it is that we do. That I think that's what's really going to make this channel and people like actually enjoy it because we're enjoying it. And if they can tell that we're having fun, you know, they'll just be able to buy in even more.
And like we said, if they don't love it, they can shove it. If you don't love it,
It's whatever.
shove it.
So before we get too carried away, I actually want to talk about this bar for a second.
Oh yeah.
So I as I mentioned at the beginning of this cast, we're in the what's called the Cannon Room. It's the Pendry, Baltimore. So just to kind of give you a backstory on the Pendry, it is owned by Kevin Plank, who is also the CEO of Under Armour, who also owns Sagamore Spirits, which if we're looking, I got some B-roll. I can't not show you some of the shots here, but it's an incredible place. It's an incredible bar. We're right here in the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland, and if you don't know any of the history about Baltimore, Maryland, just look up the War of 1812. That's where it all happened. And just to kind of give you a little backstory, and I'll show you a shot here, but it's so cool. When they dug up the foundation to build this hotel, they found 3 cannons from the War of 1812, and they built one and stuck it right in the floor of this bar. It's pretty incredible. So there's an actual cannon from the War of 1812 in the floor of this bar, and they have 2 other ones
Outside by the outdoor pool.
Right, by the outdoor pool. So
It's crazy.
It's an incredible place.
It's sick.
Yeah.
And the room, I'm sure I don't think this will do it justice.
I don't think it does either, but
it actually feels like you're inside of a barrel, like a whiskey barrel.
Yeah.
Right?
I was going to say that or like a ship, you know?
Yeah. A whiskey ship.
Yeah.
A whiskey barrel. No, they nailed it.
Oh
they
my
knocked
God.
this whole place out of the park. So
I mean, everything that Kevin Plank does, he nails it. I mean, Sagamore Spirits, not one of them I hate. I could drink all of them.
yeah.
And you know, just obviously Under Armour doing its thing. But I think what he ends up planning on doing with what's it, Harbor East or
No.
what's that over there by where Sagamore Spirit is?
I don't know what it's called.
Anyways, he's taking.
Not Locust Point. Is it Locust Point? Is it considered Locust Point? Yeah, it's Locust Point.
Yeah. So, anyways, he's taken basically what was a rundown industrial park that was kind of full of crime. He's really turned it around. So everybody kind of gives him a hard time for certain things he might have done that were a little bit controversial. But what he's done for the city, I mean, it's been unbelievable. And this is just another testament to that. I mean, this is
that drives me crazy too when people are so critical because it's like he owns Under Armour.
Yeah.
He could bring it anywhere.
right.
Can you imagine Baltimore without it? And I feel like most business owners would have moved it. Like, what's the incentive of keeping it here?
Right.
You know?
Right.
So people just drive me crazy. Like, the way they treat business owners, it frustrates the hell out of me because there's way more incentives for him to go somewhere else that there'll be less drama,
Right.
less pressure. And even the other external factors, like there's a lot that goes into being here in Baltimore that makes it harder to run your business.
Yeah, which is surprising because Amazon's here too.
Yeah.
You know, Amazon has a headquarters here in Baltimore, and it's starting to really, I think, become a really good place for businesses, at least from a corporate level, for them to start moving in. And in theory, it should trickle down and really eventually start to you know change things around here. I would hope so anyway. But the Pendry's, I mean, it's unbelievable hotel. You know, I saw Michael Phelps this morning. I'm not even kidding about that. That was pretty crazy.
But did he see you?
I think he caught that I was like staring and being really uncomfortable about the whole thing. And then I tried to like just snap a quick picture. That
He knew exactly what you were
he knew
doing.
what I was up to. Like I was the first person to ever do that.
I know.
But that was pretty cool. And so that's just the caliber of the place that we're in right now. I mean, people that stay in this hotel, I mean, it's like $300 is the cheapest one.
I get it. You're
So-
loving it. We get it. You like it's a great
I'm
place.
just trying to give a
Are you
perspective.
done making love to this
Yes,
the Pendry?
I'm done.
Can we move on?
Yeah. I want to make sure that we're showing
But
enough love
no, if
to
you
the
need
place
some
that we're
alone
in.
time, I'll let you be
Yeah,
alone
whatever.
here and do whatever you need to do.
Listen,
I think there's cameras though.
there is. There's,
yeah.
yeah.
So now you got your
This would
thing.
be a good place to get it on in.
Oh my god.
It would be. Oh yeah, I got it on right next to that cannon. With my cannon.
That's That's a pistol.
Well, hey, whatever. Just super soaker.
What are those little handguns, like the little mini pocket?
The cricket. Remember from Men in Black, the cricket?
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember
what the cricket did,
No,
though.
get it on. Can you just transition into the next
Well,
thing?
I'm making you feel uncomfortable now because I think you were trying to make me feel uncomfortable and it kind of backfired a little bit.
Oh, so now we're making each other feel uncomfortable.
Oh my God!
We could do this
This
all
is the
day.
new Barcast, people.
We could do
This is the new Barcast.
We could do this all day.
So
Might need to edit that.
no, fuck that. Anyway, so what else do we have going on? What else do we have planned for everybody? We're kind of doing things, I think, a little bit different with the toasts. So if you guys followed us from on the Chaos My channel, we're going to be doing something a little bit different with the People's Toast, I think.
We talked about that. You gotta. If this is a partnership, we kind of you threw it out to me today.
Well, you threw Ocean City out to me today.
That's a good point. And Puerto Rico.
And Puerto Rico.
All right, fair enough. So we're changing the People's Toast. It's totally overhauled. No, we're just, we're trying to get better and practice what we preach.
Yeah.
It was tough though, man. It was tough.
Yeah, I didn't realize how hard it was to get people to just submit some videos. It was really difficult.
Well, but I was talking more about when we sat down and had because we meet once a week about the Barcast and just us trying to figure out what this next year looked like. Like what
literally for the last
Barcast,
8 weeks we've been,
it was stressful.
Yeah.
And I feel like it got a little tense as well. Not worrisome, but it was just, we cut off a couple meetings just like, well, we can't figure it out. Let's just take a breather and come back to it next week. And just, I felt like when I was trying to explain the format of the seasons that I wasn't explaining it properly because I think you were thinking something else. And so I was getting frustrated because I'm like, I know what I'm trying to say, but somehow it's getting decoded differently. And so that was I was getting frustrated with myself. And it just goes to show you, like, we're doing this for fun, but it's like building a whole nother business.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, and what if it ends up turning into that? I mean, that would be kind of our goal. Our goal, actually, and just to kind of touch on that, is that we want to be able to, it would be amazing to just be able to hit all 50 states. Get all 50 states in a bar and just talk to people and be able to have fun and get paid to do it.
And wherever it takes us, for us to be able to have the Barcast to fund us and to fund our travel, fund our work, and then learn from it as well. Like, that's the huge benefit.
Right.
Right now we're leveraging our relationships, but we want to get to a point where the toast competition, like, there's a liquor sponsor, a company that comes to us saying we want to be a part of that.
Shout out Jack.
We want, Jack or Sagamore.
Sagamore.
We want guests coming to us, or we want to be able to approach guests that we don't know, but we have a name behind us that people are like, oh, you're coming to town. Like, that, it should be easy.
Yeah.
So, I think as long as we stick to what we know, which is being authentic, being us, building relationships, it's got to work. Like, it's just got to.
I feel like that's just got to be good content all the way around. People love stories, and I think as long as we have stories to tell, people will listen.
I'm like this close to perfecting that Rocky speech, so it'll be launched this week at some point. But I practiced it so much that I've actually created a spoof off of it that I'm going to use for Freddie Valois when we have him on.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
I'm not going to do a toast. I'm going to reenact that.
That'll be awesome.
And it's going to be like a hype monologue for a comedian trying to do stand-up, like about to do stand-up. Oh, it's so good.
That'd be awesome.
You want a little teaser? You want a little tease?
All right.
Stand-up ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a mean and nasty place. And I don't care how funny you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How many boos you can take and keep moving forward. That's how comedy is done.
You sound like Rodney Dangerfield.
I sound like Rocky.
Rodney Dangerfield.
I do kind of sound like Rodney Dangerfield. That's good. In that. Yo. Hey. I'm going to get both out of it.
Hey, whatever works. I was thinking of something too.
You're Rocky. Have you? Do your Rocky. Do your Rocky.
Hey, what did you ever do for me, Mick?
Like, you think that sounds like Rocky?
No. I don't try to like.
Okay.
Hey,
what you ever do? You do to me, Mick. Sounds like you're about to tickle him.
That's what he says.
We should do a whole episode.
That's what he said.
We
You want to do the whole episode like this? We'll do it like
a
this.
whole episode doing it like this.
You just sound like you're having a stroke.
You gotta be vulnerable. Be vulnerable.
Adrian. Somebody had to say it.
Adrian. Hey, yo, Mick.
Hey, Rock, shut up, Rock. Get your ass in there, Rock, and do the damn Barcast.
My Mick is good.
I was going to say, you just need to like drop the Sylvester Stallone and just choose somebody else.
I'm done.
All right. It's a shame we didn't have all of that on camera. But we have it all
On audio.
So, but really, I just wanted to talk about a couple of extra things for the Barcast itself, what we're looking forward to. So, just to give everybody clarity, we're going to have 4 seasons in this year of 2020.
Yes.
And we're kicking this off. By the time you're watching this or listening to this, it'll be Super Bowl Sunday.
Affirmative.
And
who's playing?
There's going to be who's playing. So, just to
So
give,
your predictions are horrible.
yeah, they were. I think everybody's predictions were horrible up to this point. I don't know if anybody predicted that the Titans were going to AFC Championship.
No. But pause. Give me a little credit because I'm 2-0 in the Barcast. Well, I didn't say this on the Barcast, but 2-0 my predictions to you. Basketball, spot on prediction.
That was spot on. Football, not so much.
Ravens, spot on prediction. I didn't say when it would happen, but I said what the issue was. And you have to believe
you said
me
that, but
you
your pick was Ravens Niners.
Yeah.
In the Super Bowl.
Was my pick the Ravens? My pick wasn't the Ravens Niners.
Yes, it was.
That's not true.
Who did you say it was then?
Did I say the Niners?
Yeah.
I don't even think I
You
knew
said when
who
we
the
talked,
Niners were.
Yeah, because the last time we talked about it was when the Ravens beat the Niners, and you're like, this could definitely be.
That's not my pick. That it could be that.
When we talked
Do you
about
want
this,
to know
I
who
said
my pick is?
I said it was going to be Saints Niners or Saints Ravens.
I didn't.
And obviously that.
I thought it
got
was
blown
going to
up.
be the Ravens and the Chiefs in
And
the
AFC.
championship, and I thought the Kansas
Shitty. The Kansas Shitty Chiefs. They played like shit yesterday.
until they didn't.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce's a monster.
Oh my God, man.
So, in this part of the Barcast, we're going to be talking sports.
Talking about whatever the fuck
And
we
if you
want.
don't love it,
You're an ass.
shove it.
Shove it.
Yeah, you'll get them.
If you don't drink Jack, you're an ass.
Yeah, you're a dick.
Okay, I'm with you.
So I thought that the Chiefs could take the Ravens down, but it was tight. It was a coin
possible.
toss.
Yeah.
I did not expect the Ravens to be to lose to the Titans. But with that said, that's not my pick. What's your pick for the Super Bowl?
As it stands now, so just to give everybody perspective, as of the recording, listen,
Just
Kansas
everybody
Shitty
go
Chiefs.
perspective. At least mine sounds
To give
cool.
perspective, we are in a conference championship weekend.
I'm going to stop. Good. We're in Conference Championship weekend.
You're right. So now we have Niners, Packers, and then we have Chiefs, Titans.
Yes.
So this is Super Bowl Sunday that this will be airing. So my picks are going to be Packers,
Yeah.
Chiefs.
Ooh, that's a good pick. And I told you that I like the Packers based on experience, and I think there's value in that and being there before. With that said, I'll go Niners, Chiefs. And Andy Reid will get his first Super Bowl. So wait, this is coming out the morning of the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Tonight, Andy Reid hoists the Lambeau. What is it called? The Vince Lombardi Trophy.
Yes, the Lombardi Trophy.
The Lambeau Trophy.
The Lambos in.
Tonight it happens.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it does. If Aaron Rodgers is in the Super Bowl,
I would love Aaron Rodgers to win another one, though.
if he is in the Super Bowl, he's winning.
If you'd ask me, what would I want more, Andy Reid to win his first Super Bowl or Aaron Rodgers to win another one? I would like Aaron Rodgers to win another one.
You know why I think if it's Packers-Chiefs, the Packers win?
Because he's a winner.
Not only that, when Patrick Mahomes gets hit, when he gets hit, he's a different quarterback. And I know most quarterbacks are different when they get hit, but I think the Packers defense is good enough to be able to penetrate that O-line. And if he gets hit, it will be a different.
Why do you
Patrick
say
Mahomes.
words like that?
What?
Like penetrate and pleasurable entry and things like that.
I say
you have a very interesting
NFL coaches say penetrate all the time. I got to penetrate the O-line. How else would you say?
I don't know. You got to beat your man. You got to get up in there. You got to get up.
Oh, that sounds much better.
Rock, you got to get up in there.
That sounds much better.
And don't just stop until you're right up in there, Rock.
That being said, all the hate that's on Lamar Jackson right now is uncalled for.
We'll talk about that later. Should we cut this whole thing out?
I don't know.
It's good to have.
I think it's
it'll
good
be good to have a little clip of my prediction.
Yeah.
All right. Chiefs, Packers. I think Chiefs, Niners.
Which
My
you're not
prediction,
wrong.
Chiefs,
I wouldn't,
Yeah, either one.
Yeah.
Chiefs win. You think Packers are going to win. So
Yeah.
I think think ching 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 ching. I think the Chiefs will beat either team they play.
Yes.
And I predict
Except
the
for the Packers.
Chiefs. This is a rough day. I predict the Chiefs win 35. No. 28-24.
I was going to say, both them defenses, he going to put up 35?
28-24.
That's a good call. I think, I would say it's probably the same score, only Aaron Rodgers wins.
What do you do? All right, let's move on.
What do you want to move on to?
We have so much we can talk about. I want to save some for the next episode.
That's fine. Since we got way off topic, just to kind of give our audience what our actual plan is. We've been talking about how we were planning for 8 weeks on seasons and all this other stuff, but we're going to be doing 8 episodes a season.
That was really derailed. Yeah.
We're going to be doing 8 episodes a season with 1 month off.
Yep.
So then we won't be putting any new content out, but you'll be able to see. Maybe we'll do some of the behind the scenes stuff. We haven't quite hammered that out, what we're going to be doing in the quote unquote off season. But for 1 month, you'll just get content such as highlights from the previous season, maybe a nice little teaser for the season coming up.
Blooper reel.
Yeah,
We'll have so much
plenty of content to kind of go over. But don't worry, just because we'll be taking a month off doesn't mean that you won't be able to see, more content from us during that month. But, we thought that this would be a good starting point to structure our Barcast so that we could, spend as much time as possible on perfecting the Barcast, which by this episode 1, I think that we have a long ways to go.
I'm happy.
I'm happy too. You know why? Because it's not just about me anymore. I really want to focus on it just being us as a team.
Yeah, and me.
Right. But in all seriousness, I think that was just Barcast was overshadowed on my channel, and it deserved to have its own thing.
Yes, but with that said, I was looking at our new channel today, and I was sad looking at 6 views, and we haven't launched it or promoted it.
We haven't done
but it was nice. It used to be a few hundred views, a couple hundred views, whatever. Right. I can't wait till I get a call from you, episode 3, about how we have to overhaul the whole thing because we're not getting the numbers. Guaranteed. I got to talk you off the ledge at least 4 times this year. One time a season. I got to talk you off the ledge.
I've learned my lesson with that. You talked me off the ledge about starting a new channel, and then you finally agreed with it. So,
because I'm not going to keep talking you off the ledge.
There's no ledge.
I don't care either way.
I think this is going to be great.
People
having its own identity.
I agree. Listen, you stick to the plan. We saw it to completion. We shifted, and then we'll see that.
Yeah,
we'll see the season to completion, and maybe it changes again.
Yeah,
maybe we go back to On the Chaos.
No,
I did enjoy reading the comments of when you did the episode about ending, and everybody thought you were actually closing out On the Chaos.
Clickbaited them.
Yeah,
but it wasn't. So I'm not against
What'd
clickbaiting.
you write? What was the title?
It said saying goodbye to Own
Yeah.
the Chaos,
Yeah.
which it was true. The Barcast was saying goodbye to Own the Chaos.
That's fair. So before we officially say goodbye to the old Barcast forever,
Yes.
I feel like we should reminisce a little bit.
About.
The Barcast, the good old days. Can
Yep.
we reminisce about that?
Yeah. What do you want to reminisce about?
I don't know. Like, what were your, like, when you look back on the Barcast, like, what did you learn? What were the high points? What were the low points?
God.
Like, what lessons, like, you know, we talk, let me make the question a little clearer. We talk about business, like, it's not, when you close the doors on a business, it doesn't mean that it failed, because you learn so much from
Yeah.
business.
Oh, my
Like,
God.
what did you learn from the Barcast that, like, really stood out?
You know, I think what it forced me to do was just kind of go into a whole different world of like this, getting used to cameras, microphones, all that sound equipment. There was that part of it, like kind of like the technical behind the scenes part of it that I just learned so much about. And I think that this has taken a leap right now, especially with like sound quality and everything else. But to just kind of see how far we've come from day one down in Barcasina to now, the way that we've approached it, just our level of comfortability with each other, and you even being on camera and stuff like that. You know, I've just learned a lot as far as that's concerned, and really, you know, I don't know. I'm not as uncomfortable. When I first started the Barcast and you were just walking me into bars at places I'd never been and meeting, and you know, I'm meeting all kinds of different people. I was uncomfortable at first because I was
Really?
just like, yeah, because you're just not in your element. You know, I'm used to just hiding behind a camera in my, you know, little office and just having that be that. But now I'm out in the open and I'm like seeing all these people, and then, you know, at there and even, you know, at the Horse, there's just people still. There's still patrons in there and they're just watching us. So in the beginning it was uncomfortable, but now that we're getting into this groove, it's just weird. And to think that we did that all in the course of 6 months, the distance we've traveled in 6 months has been incredible. So I can only imagine what the next year is going to look like.
Yeah, for sure. There's a few things I want to mention. One is I'm just proud that we stuck to it. You know, I feel like a lot of people start podcasts,
Yeah.
and what I notice is that they're not consistent. Like they'll do a couple episodes, they'll log a couple of episodes, they'll fall off, then they'll start back up.
Yeah.
And then they'll kind of, no disrespect, but they kind of excuse why they're falling off, right?
Right.
Where we've been consistent.
Yeah.
Like I think only one time, didn't we take a break or something one time where we couldn't get, when
we couldn't get the audio.
we couldn't get the audio, which wasn't, we had filmed 2
Yeah.
episodes.
Yeah.
Actually, we filmed more than 2. We filmed in North Carolina, we filmed 3.
Yes.
And so that was out of our control. But other than that, we were consistent. So I'm proud of us. And I just want to take a moment that I feel like we should recognize, like we started something and we finished it. So that's my one point. The other point I want to make is that I was thinking about today. So before the cameras came on us, like the general manager came in, introduced himself. And I always feel like kind of the universe has a weird way of like giving you a peek into what things will be.
Yeah.
And that felt to me like what I think the future will be like. You know,
I
us
think so
going to
too.
places and being like, oh man, the Barcast is here.
What I've been envisioning is like, let's just say we're in New York or we're, you know, in another city, another town, and we get to talking to somebody and they're like, oh, you got to talk to this guy.
Yeah.
You know, and then like our 8 episodes turned into 10 or something like
Yeah.
that. But that's what I think will end up happening. It's like, listen, man, I know that you guys love my story. You love what I'm all about, but you got to go talk to this guy over here, or this girl over here. And like, I think that'll be cool. Just
Yeah.
be, you know, kind of like the unknown is kind of what I'm looking for. Look forward to.
My biggest takeaway from last year was how everything we talk about was reaffirmed with what we did through our Barcast. So we talk, part of it was that we kind of followed the roadmap of what we talk about, you know, like just jump in, just do it, iterate, stick to your vision, like all the stuff we talk about, we experienced together, even though we didn't know it at the time.
Yeah.
But just looking at, we talk a lot about the first episode and looking how much it changed. You know, we started a couple episodes in where I would do that like obscure movie line or quote, you know, and it was just like, it doesn't make sense now.
Right.
But that was the seed that was planted that created the toast competition,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And so that it came from, you know, where I'm doing these random movie lines, which are funny, but they don't make sense. They don't tie in. And then we have a conversation about what ties in. I don't think we would have ever gotten the People's Toast or the Toast competition if we didn't have the idea of just doing quotes. And so it just shows, it wasn't that it was wrong, right? It wasn't that we shouldn't have done it. It led us to where we needed to be.
Yeah.
And we stayed on track and we never got frustrated. It got challenging at times, but like it was never a question of should we stop. It was just where how do we need to shift or move?
Yeah, and I think also, you know, when you think about that, it was kind of like I totally lost my train of thought.
We can talk about me.
What were you just saying?
I was saying how the idea of the quotes was like the seed that was planted.
Yeah. And so, and for me, it's like, even though I had a following on my channel at the time when we first started the Barcast, I had like 75 or 7,800 subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
I would average only somewhere around 400 or 500 views per video of my own videos. When we started the Barcast, our very first Barcast had like 50 views.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But like, it's to your point. It's once we got done with, like, our final episode of the Barcast on that channel had 600 and some views.
That was also clickbait.
It was truthful clickbait. But
yeah, that's true.
there were people that were upset. They were like, what the hell? Like, you know, where's it going? And, you know, we actually gained supporters. So I think the proof of concept was there, and it actually ended up playing out. So we didn't have like a huge following, but like it, you know, people were interested in it. And we went into it with saying to ourselves, even if one person got something out of it, you know, that's all that really kind of mattered to us. So.
Well, and I really just want to commit to that idea of we're not looking for numbers. We're not, you know, at least for the period of the 4 seasons, like we'll play the 4 seasons through and we'll do what feels right to us.
Yeah.
You know, we'll put ourselves out there and whatever happens, happens. With that said, there's value in just sitting down and talking.
Yeah.
You know, like it's cool if the Barcast blows up, but even if nobody watches, I think we're getting something out of it.
Oh, yeah.
And even just like with our segments, I want to, when we're opening up more, they're coaching sessions, whether you're asking me questions or I'm asking you questions. So let's do it. Let's crush it.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I mean, wouldn't it be cool if somebody's like, oh, I know you're here for me, but I like that, but you should talk to this guy. And that person says, you should talk to this guy. And it ends up being somebody like, I don't know, Guy Fieri or something like that. Or
Who?
Guy Fieri. Is that not how you say it? Fieri?
It is, but you just became Italian real quick.
Fieri?
Like Southern Sicily Italian. Fieri.
I mean, I was just trying to be culturally appropriate.
I get you.
Anyways, guys, if you like this, if you didn't like it, don't care. No, in all seriousness, we just love the fact that you're watching this and that you're supporting us.
If you made it this far,
yeah, props to you.
Woo.
But you know, we just wanted to kind of get ourselves back in the groove of things and kind of let you know what we're up to and what we're planning on doing. So, you know, even though this one might have been a little bit more painful than most, please bear with us. We got some really good things lined up for you guys, and things that I think we're gonna not only inspire you but also inspire us. So that's what I'm looking forward to. So,
and don't like this, and don't subscribe, and if you don't drink Jack,
you're an ass.
You're an ass.
See you in the next episode.